So just get our YouTube stream going. The nice thing about YouTube stream, of course, is that it just is instantly recorded and available on our YouTube channel. So if you guys do have a seller call you from out of town and they want to see, and they want you to come list or something right away, you can go do that, and then the recording will be there. Okay, so let's hit got it. And so welcome to today's product updates and features deep dive session. These will typically be with members of the product team. We have Susan here today with us. And we're going to be sharing stuff that's upcoming with KV Court, and also taking some time to, from week to week, maybe dive into some other features that have been around a while. So Susan, I'll kind of let you tell me what to do here on the screen, and we'll talk about what we got.
Go ahead and go to the next screen, and we can pop back and forth, maybe toggle between features and the live product, because some of this is live now and some of these are coming soon. And most everything should be here live by, I think we're saying the first 2 weeks of December, if it's not live already. So, and we'll go over all of those, but today we're going to focus on all of the CRM enhancement tools that we're doing as part of the fall release. And the first one is hashtag management, which I want to say it went live a month and a half ago. And the really great thing that we recently added is that you can now go to filters in your CRM, and you can look for, I want to find a group of leads who do not have this hashtag, or I want to find a group of leads that have, I want to find credit repair and I don't know, what's another good hashtag?
Fixer upper.
And like fixer uppers, there you go. So I can go to the CRM now, and I can go into my contacts, go to your filters.
Okay.
And under, let's see, down a little bit further, go to your contact details. And your hashtags. So if you select one hashtag, you'll not see this option for and/or, but if I want to find all the waterfront properties that also, or all my waterfront tagged, and they also have, I don't know, I'm drawing blanks, waterfront, and they have views. That's one of their mandatory things. So we've got their hashtags in there. We can search for all of those leads that have 2 hashtags. So it's an and, or I can change it, add one more hashtag there.
So if I add another hashtag here.
Yep, now I'm going to see, now I can see or. So do I want this to be and or? Am I looking for waterfront and fixer upper, or am I looking for waterfront or fixer upper?
Yeah, we should have a little,
I can change that.
We should have a little note here, Susan, like a little italicized or something that says, hey, to use and or logic, just put both hashtags in, because that wasn't very logical to me.
Super clear, is it? Yeah.
Then it pops up.
Then it pops up. The other thing you have is, I want to find everybody who is not marked credit repair, and I can go to hashtag is not and go down to the next box.
Yep, sorry. So hashtag is not. I'll just do waterfront because that's one that I have existing. So yep.
There you go. So hashtag is not waterfront. So I can find all of those leads. And if I want to now find everybody that I've not hashtagged, I can clear those things out, click on no hashtags, go down and filter your results, and then I can find everybody who I've not hashtagged yet.
That's interesting. So I'm going to do that here. I want to see how many I have. Probably most of a lot of them.
42, is that what it said?
I've been a little lax.
Ryan, 6 pages.
Yeah, I got some work to do.
So those are the new hashtag filters. Those are live now. He's looking in the product just like you have right now today. So those features are all live right now today. Let's pop back over to the next slide and go down to slide 3. Some other tools that we rolled out probably in the last 6 weeks were the squeeze page history, and now we're going to add landing page history. So landing page history is probably going to be sometime after the Thanksgiving holiday, early December, that we'll see that. And right now, squeeze page history is live. So you can go to your squeeze pages, click the history tab, and you'll see a list of all of the squeeze pages that you've created that are part of the squeeze builder.
Okay, so I'll come here, expand out my menu. We'll go to build squeeze page, right?
Yeah, and then go to history tab.
Right up here.
And then those are all of the ones that you've created. It shows the name of it, the date that you created it, the types of, is it a seller page, single property, multi-property? If you had a hashtag, you can view the page and you can copy the link.
Nice. So we're going to have a similar thing for landing pages.
We're going to have a similar thing for landing pages as well. And it'll be under your landing page section under lead engine.
Great. So, oh, okay. So this will be like a separate menu that doesn't pop you straight into the landing page anymore. Okay.
Yep. And I think that that's why it took us a little bit longer, because it wasn't just an add-on. It's going to be, you know, a new pop-up that we have to create. Somebody asked if they can be edited. No, you're just copying the information. You're copying the link or you're viewing the link, but you can't edit from here. You would just have to create a new one if you needed to edit it.
Are we making landing pages editable as part of this update? Do you know?
Not part of this update.
Okay. Cool. Can I sneak one other thing? And I'm pretty sure you didn't have Susan on your
absolutely
slides. Just along landing pages, we did add a few more background options.
Yeah.
Some diversity options here. So if you go to the images up at the top right where you see me clicking, and you go down a little bit, there's just a couple more background images. And of course, guys, you can put any image you want in the background by using either an MLS ID for a specific property, or by putting your own URL to an image when you click custom background here. But we did add a few more stock that are just you know, fit a few expanded demographics for diversity and things like that. So cool.
Cool. Let's see. So we can go back to that slide again.
Yep.
And search by listing type and status is coming really soon. We're testing it right now. I'm so excited about this feature because you're going to be able to take, you're going to be able to separate out and search by, I want to find any condo that is, not that I want to find pending, but like I want to find all the pending condos that are out there. And I'm going to be able to do that. So I can search for both property status and then by the listing type. So
that's cool.
Be really, really exciting. I think people have been asking for this for a while, and it's in testing, which means it could be any day now. It could be, you know, another couple of weeks, but I have a feeling it's coming very soon.
Yeah, and for those of you guys who don't understand, when Susan says testing, you know, that things are built, and then we have teams of people who are, their job is to pretty much try to break it, right, Susan?
Right, exactly. Let's find all the things that aren't working so that you don't.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's part of why it takes so long. And with how complex KV Core has gotten, you know, there's so much going on that sometimes you'll build one thing and it'll affect something that you didn't see coming, you know, over there. And that's what the testing team's job is. So we know that something's in testing, but we don't know what they're going to find. So that's why we don't give hard dates on stuff.
And if they don't hit something, if they don't find anything that's, you know, broken, you know, that needs to be fixed, then we can send it out to everybody. But if they have to send it back to a developer to fix it, that's the part that it could take a week, it could take 2 weeks.
Yeah. So just a couple of questions, Susan. Diana mentioned she was trying to do a squeeze page for a single family that coming soon, but for a single family that is coming soon, but it's not an option. I don't think that's specifically it. You were referencing the front end of your search, the consumer experience. Is that right?
What is her question? Say it again. It's going to be in squeeze page. So yes, you will be able to do a squeeze page that you want to find. But this is, you were doing it for a specific listing.
I believe it was for a coming soon manual listing that she had created.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For that example, I would probably you could build a landing page for that pretty quickly. You know, if you're trying to kind of do some lead capture around that coming soon page, the landing page is a pretty good option.
You can also do manual listings and boost those now. Okay.
Yep. So I can show that quickly.
While you're pulling that up, Bobby asked how you can delete a squeeze page that's in your history. We don't have that ability right now. Right now, it's just a catalog of everything you've built from the builder from the time that we released that feature. But we don't have a way for you to delete it. It's just data that's sitting there, though. It's not really, what's that, Ryan?
It's not affecting anything for it to be
not
there.
Affecting anything. It's a catalog, so you can see this is everything I built.
Yeah. So the manual listings, I think what sorry if I'm forgetting your name, Diana was mentioning was she wanted to do a squeeze link for something that she had created manually. Like I have these two examples here. And that's not currently an option. But you can, as Susan said, there's a few, what did you mention? The
You could boost that listing.
right. So you can come here and do more actions and do, oh, we don't have the boost right there.
Where is the boost?
The boost will be in the property boost screen, right? Let's see.
Because I know that's how people are boosting sold listings right now. They're adding.
Yeah, I think they're doing it directly from the property boost interface, but I think it would definitely be a good idea for us to make that easier from
Definitely
this.
needs to be there. Yeah.
So we'll do that.
I'll send that
And
over.
then Rich had a great question I want to get to. He asked if a landing or squeeze pages can be set up to repeat weekly. And Rich, I think the spirit of that question is you want to know if the link will still be good or refresh. Just know, guys, that any links you create, squeeze links, they just update automatically with the new IDX data. If I'm understanding that question right. So if I build a squeeze link today, it'll be up to date with the right listings in 2 or 3 weeks. You know, so that history of squeeze pages that Susan mentioned a minute ago,
it's always live.
Yep. So this stuff I did back in August, if I want to go and see my multifamily properties in Pinellas County from August 25th, 3 months ago or so, this will be a live link and it'll be accurate. So thanks for all the questions, guys. And sorry for anybody who we don't get to. They're kind of flying in right now.
That's the hard part in the chat questions, right?
Yeah, Rich was saying his was about doing an open houses. One of my favorite hacks is to just, even in my smart campaigns, I'll just say, hey, here's an upcoming list of open houses. But it's always an accurate list. It's always going to show what's coming up.
Right.
So,
let's hop back to the slide unless there were other questions.
Yep.
Cool.
So there's questions about needing a beginner class. I just want to address that really quick. Yeah, this is a session where we kind of talk about upcoming product features, guys, but we do have beginner classes every Monday through Thursday on the calendar, as we mentioned at the top. And that's the quick start classes that happen at 1 p.m. East, 10 a.m. Pacific. And there's 4 of them every week, and they kind of go in order with our quick start. So definitely check those out. Okay, back to the slide, Susan.
Yeah, back to the slide. So I think you can go to the next slide. That was great that you blew that picture up, because we'll probably need that on the next one too.
Yep.
Some other things that are coming are to do with the pond notifications. So these are coming in early December. You'll have them before the holiday season. One is an alert to your pond members so that you can notify instantly. You can see it on your phone. You can, if you have your push notifications on, and you're going to be able to see when a new lead has come into the pond, if you're a member of the pond, if you're the admin of the pond. Eventually, I don't think this one's coming out by December, but you'll be able to put your lead. If I'm an agent and I add a lead to the pond, or I throw a lead back, then I'm going to be able to get that notification as the admin of that pond, so I can see the activity without having to go in and look at it and track it kind of manually. Somebody just asked what a pond is, so I don't know. Do you want to go jump into that, Ryan?
Sure. So ponds are actually created by the admins of your account. So the broker who owns the account, the team leader, if you have a team add-on. So a lot of you guys watching might not see the pond creation. What ponds are, they're basically buckets where you can have leads come into, and then the agents on your team can manually claim the leads. If you have access to a pond, you'll see it at the top of your smart CRM. So like here I am in the smart CRM, you can see the investor leads and the old home valuation leads. And these may have been set up in my office as demos. They're not actively being used too heavily. They should be. But if you are a member of a pond and your admin has set you up and there is a lead available in here, you can actually claim it and pull it into your account. And what Susan was referring to is that when we launched this, you kind of had to manually check for the leads. Now you'll start to receive notifications, right?
Exactly. So now you'll know. You don't have to go in and manually check a few times a day if there's anything happening with your ponds.
Yeah. So, yeah, but ponds are very cool. If you talk to the admin on your site if your office isn't using this already. Definitely have them check it out. We do have a lot of documentation around ponds, but it's a very efficient way for, say, your team leader or broker owner to generate leads for you. Put them into a pond and know that the hungriest agents or the people who are available at that time are the ones claiming the leads, instead of doing our general round robin where you might be busy at the time that you get a lead. So it's a little bit of a twist on lead routing. So very cool.
So that's it on the pond notifications. And then the last thing for us to talk about are exporting analytics. So there's, I think, 3 of those that are, and this is all live now, and campaign sharing. So why don't we look at campaign sharing first?
For sure. And I've actually created a handful of these and shared them out. They're a lot of fun. So let's go here. And I'm going to go to marketing and then smart campaigns. And let's show first how to bring in a campaign, Susan.
Sure.
Should I do that? Well, actually, let me show how to share one.
No, you need to show how to share one first so that you can get the token.
Yeah. So I have my buyer nurture 1-year campaign. I think this one right here. And as the person who created the campaign, once it's in my account, I have the ability to click on clone campaign right up at the top right. So if I click that, oh wait.
No, this is just this is you just copying it. Go down to unshare.
Total brain mess up. What I'm worried about is if I unshare this, will it break the code for people who've been trying to use it in the past? So I'm gonna pick one I haven't shared yet really quickly.
Okay. The thing to keep in mind with sharing campaigns while he's finding one is that you have to have access to edit the campaign. If you can edit the campaign, then you're going to be able to share the campaign. So if you are a office or a company admin concerned that you've got a company campaign and you don't want anybody to share it, if agents don't have access to edit, then they can't share it. But if I can edit the campaign, I can share it with whomever I want to, as long as they're another KV Core user.
Yeah. So from within the campaign here, I now have my share option. My eyes went right to the green, to the clone.
Yeah.
But the share is right here. So I click this, and now right down at the bottom right, a little bit lower, you can see my sharing token. So I can give this to anybody here. And actually, let me give you guys, I'm pretty proud of my 1-year campaign. I'm going to give you guys that token. Is that cool? 1 year. Oh, well, I thought the campaign share would be there, Susan.
It should be there.
Yeah, let's
I
just
don't know why it's not showing there. That's really weird.
So here's that sharing token. So I'll share this to everybody watching live on the Zoom in the chat. And then the way it works is if I come back into the main campaigns page and I'm staring at all the campaigns I have available, so that's where I am now, I can click this little green icon over at the top right.
It's supposed to be like a copy clone button. I definitely think we need to
add
some work there.
We'll make this a little bit more intuitive because it doesn't say anything. It's just a button that's sitting there. But when I click it, it opens up this box, and then I can put the campaign in and I can click to share. Now, I don't know if I'm going to break the world if I try to copy in my own campaign, but I'll just go ahead and do it.
You won't open up a wormhole. It'll be okay.
Okay. And then it'll ask, are you sure you'd like to clone this campaign into your account? It can take up to 15 minutes to complete and you'll receive an email. So click yes. And then it hasn't been taking 15 minutes. It's been taking like 30 seconds usually, right?
Yeah. And sometimes I've found you do have to refresh your screen if you wait. Like I get antsy and I'm like, no, it's right there. I know it's done. And then it pops up by the time you refresh your screen.
Yep. Now we won't know if I think it did clone in. I just had a few of these in there already from demos, but.
Yeah, you had 2 of them. So it did one of those. One of those is the cloned one.
Yep. So this is really handy, guys. If you have a team or agents around the country who are also using KV Core, maybe you're in a mastermind group or you have a coach, maybe that coach is creating KV Core Smart Campaigns, or you are a coach and you want to create stuff for other people to use. This is a really handy feature.
Rich just asked, within a campaign, can you assign specific actions to different agents? Example, one agent calls and then an admin does a CMA when it prompts for it. And in those cases, right now, the only people who can assign tasks to other people is an admin, or a broker can assign something to an agent, but you can't assign something agent to agent right now. They're saying they can't copy the link. If you go into the chat and highlight it and Control-C, you should be able to grab that. If you're on Zoom on your phone or on an iPad or something, I've never tried that. But if you do Control-C or right click and copy on a computer, you should be able to highlight and copy that code. And if not, I bet Ryan's going to share it in his group. So
yeah, I'll just post that in the Facebook group really quickly. Share campaign code from webinar.
There you go.
That's the Inside Real Estate Strat discussion group, and I'll just kind of leave it there for you guys to grab. And here's the link to the group before anybody asks how to get there. I assume everybody's in there already, but if you're not, then there you go.
Beautiful. And if you want to go back to the CRM, let's go down to analytics. Okay. So another thing that people had asked for, and this is live now as well. So the share campaigns is live. And then if you go to business analytics, this is live as well. If you go over to agent performance, you can export this data now. So there's a little button over there in the blue that says download report. You can only download the data that you can actually see. So if you're an admin and you have lots of people listed there, you'll be able to download all of those. If you're an agent, you only see your own data, then you can download your own report. It puts it into a, there we go, a CSV format. So you could open that in Excel or Word, or you can open it in Google Docs, any of those options. And then you can take that data. And if you need to manipulate the data outside of KV Core for other reporting or whatever you need to do, then you're going to be able to do that. What is the name of the campaign we copied? Glenda wants to know.
Buyer. Yeah. I think it was 1 year buyer campaign. So that campaign is it has links to a bunch of, it's called Buyer Nurture 1 year campaign. Sorry, there it is.
There it is, yeah.
And then it's got kind of, it's got a bunch of stuff in there. It's definitely geared toward buyers, and it links to a lot of kind of third-party resources in the process. So it's pretty value driven.
And the really great thing about this is if you look through this and you're like, oh, this is way too Ryan worded, and you need to change it to yours, just click on that edit button and you can type it so that it's like, nope, this is the wording that I would use.
Yep, you actually have to go into the templates library.
Oh, you gotta go to the templates, but it does copy it all over so that you do have it.
Yeah.
John wants to know how you get that campaign again. If you go to the Facebook group, Ryan just posted the link into that campaign, or to this campaign there.
Yep, and then here, let me drop the docs on campaign sharing to everybody watching live. So it, believe, yeah, here we go. Oops.
Oh, how do you get that into KV Core? You go to marketing and then go to smart campaigns, and then over to the right-hand side of the screen, there's a little green copy button, and you'll take that copy button and that opens up a field so that you can put your token, your copy token in. There we go, Ryan's showing it.
Yep.
And then just paste it there. If Ryan deletes his campaign, if he deletes it right now and you didn't get a chance to copy it, then it will affect you. But if Ryan deletes this later and you've already copied it, yours is going to stay. So he's not going to, whatever Ryan does to his won't affect yours. Likewise, if he goes in and makes some edits to that and adds, 12 more actions, that's not going to update to yours. You're not getting a live campaign link to his, you're just getting a copy of the campaign.
There's a question about seller campaigns.
Juanita said it took hers like 5 seconds for that to load. So that's awesome.
I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, I like that we put that 15-minute in there. And I think that's if you don't refresh your screen, that within 15 minutes, you'll be able to see it again.
I did a webinar. Somebody asked about a seller campaign. I did this seller e-tips, selling e-tips e-course campaign about a month ago on a webinar. Seller here, I'll just share it. And the webinar link, seller e-tips. But that was, if you watch that webinar, it will kind of give you an idea of the power of this and how it can be used. Selling. Hopefully I find it quick enough.
We're good on time because those are the features that I had to show.
Cool. So I have a minute to look for this because
So you got time to do that. Someone asked, Diana asked, to make a campaign yours, it needs to have a hashtag. No, you just need to create it from you as an agent so that you've got the access to create it. So if I've created if I create a office level campaign and Ryan's like, oh, I want to copy that and share it across the board, he's not going to be able to do it because I'm the one who created it and he's not the office admin, I am. So that's where it would be. When can we expect the SOI playbook? I'm so glad you asked that, Adam. Early next week. So we did some testing and there were a couple last things that we want to fine tune, and that whole testing period we talked about, we're fixing those things. So we're so close, I can taste it. So it's really Monday or Tuesday, we're going to see those.
Yeah, and that's going to be the nature of these sessions, guys. We know it might be a little frustrating. We're kind of giving you a look at stuff that's coming, as well as, revisiting some things that have been recently launched. So we're going to have a mix of that. But yeah, there's in the chat, everybody, there's that 2-part webinar, and in the description of those, I have that seller campaign for anybody who's interested. I've gotten nice feedback on that, but just keep in mind, you can do those sorts of things for your team, for the people you're helping to mentor. It's really handy, that sharing feature.
It really is. There's been so many people saying, like, I used to have this really good campaign and now I can't get it. And now you just share it between the two of you.
Yeah, the old conversion used to have a nice library. That was a little hard to navigate too, because you had to know where to look. There were so many in there.
The last time I remember looking in conversion at all of the share campaigns, there was like, I think 16,000. So that got a little overwhelming. Karen, yes, this is being recorded and it'll be on the YouTube channel and we'll email out the link.
Yep, it's streaming live, so the recording is instantly available. Bookmark insiderealestate.com/webinars. That'll bring you to this playlist that you see on the screen. But the channel itself, just keep an eye on it. We're always posting fresh stuff here. You can see here's us live as we speak. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do subscribe to it and smash the like button. That's what the kids say. Smash the like button. You got the
smash in there. That's right. And make sure you hit the bell so you get the updates.
Yes, you got to tick the notification bell. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Here, how do you do that? Let me see.
Over there in the top right, you got your bell next to the IN.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Up, way up. It's up next to your search. There you go.
Notification bell. Boink.
And then you can see, you can control who you're getting notices from. Oh, where's your notice on your page? Is it because you're a manager? You're not going to go on that page.
Yeah.
Ryan, will you cover how to schedule mass text to a future date?
Sure. We can do that, can we?
I was just thinking, you can't schedule a text. You could schedule a mass email, but the only way to really schedule a mass text would be you could do a date campaign.
Right.
You could set up a smart campaign that is I'm doing it as a trigger to start on a specific date rather than, specified date occurs. And then if I want to send this in 2 weeks, so click,
That's right here.
Yep. So I could click specify which date it is.
Okay, so choose specific date right here.
Yep. And I want it to send on that date, and I want it to send in like 2 weeks.
Here, I'll send my daughter a hat. That's her birthday randomly. So I'll send her an annual birthday text.
And then.
So we got to create the campaign, Ruby's B-Day text. Then I'll hit next, finish. And now I've got to put my text in that campaign, right?
Right. So now you got to put the text in there. And the the challenge with these date campaigns, this is definitely a an alternative solution since we don't have a true mass text schedule.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you're going to make it so that not everybody gets this. So
Well,
you might not want to make this go live.
When I just assign her, like only have it be people who are assigned the campaign and have no logic on it.
Can you do that? You might
I'll be
able to do
careful.
that. You might be able to do that.
Yeah, let's this is a little advanced for those of you. If you don't understand what we're talking about, don't worry about it. Don't stress. We're kind of getting in the weeds here. So I'm gonna go back to my campaigns. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go look for that campaign. Here it is, Ruby's B-Day text. I'm gonna add that template to it. And then I'll back up here and explain what Susan and I were just mentioning. So I'm gonna set that text to go out. It's set to start on 11/27. So that's good. So this action will occur on that start date. And what it's not active yet, the campaign, but what Susan was referring to was our rules right here. I need to be careful that this doesn't send to my whole database. So it'll only run if the hashtag is Ruby.
There you go.
So guys, we just went on a very edge case journey. If you really want to do it, and now what I'll do is I'll just hashtag Ruby and I'll add her to the campaign.
And it definitely is a long way around, but we don't really have a schedule mass text ability right now. So this was a really long way around to get the same results.
Guys, scheduling mass texts, as you just saw, is very dangerous. If I would have sent that happy birthday Ruby to a bunch of people accidentally, it's kind of one of those things like you're almost better off not having the option. And you know, the workaround is just to go when you want to send a text, just go into your smart CRM and then you can mass text from there.
And the other challenge with mass texting is keep in mind that a text is only meant to be like 160 characters by most cellular carriers. So when it's more than that, when it starts carrying on, that's when you start getting those segmented messages where it shows like this is message 1 of 3, 1 of 2 of 3, and then 3 of 3. So sometimes you might not want to do those mass texts because you didn't realize that you really sent a 7 segmented piece text. I think
you get a lot of unsubscribes.
Yeah.
So I just segmented for all my waterfront leads who have that hashtag. And then if I want to mass text, I can just quickly click mass text here.
You just can't schedule it. So you just have to remember to do it on the day you want to. But,
you know, it is very powerful. Hi, we just listed another waterfront property. Click here for deets, right? So it is very useful because it is going to get through in red.
Are we getting charged for leads that come in when we boost a listing? If so, how much per lead? I've seen something that says $30 per lead. So when we send that data out to you, is that you've paid for your property boost, right? That's done. So you paid for however long you're running the boost. And then we're just giving you the metrics to let you know that on average, the amount of leads that you saw come in from this boost cost anywhere from $7 to $30 is what we're seeing. It really depends on the market. It depends on so many factors, but that's what we're giving you is what your cost per lead ends up kind of dividing out to be.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go back and then charge you per lead.
So what happens, guys, is you might order a property boost, and remember, Facebook is all over the place. You know, they're a traffic source. We can't control what they do. You might order a property boost for one listing, and it generates. You spend $60 for the week, and it generates 40 leads, and you get them for $1.50 a piece, right? And then the system will tell you that they came in at $1.50 a piece. You may do another listing, and for whatever reason, maybe it's the picture of the property or it's the time of the week, and it generates 2 leads. It doesn't happen that often, guys, but it does happen here and there. And then you get this, the system says, hey, it costs you $30 per lead in that case. By and large, we work to make sure that doesn't happen very frequently, but it's, I don't know, 1 or 2% of the time we have a miss. And usually we end up working with Susan, in my experience, we just end up working with you. If somebody says, hey, my boost didn't perform at all, we usually work with you on that.
Right, definitely. Yeah, if you have one that was $30 lead, then you
It was
let us know.
Yeah, just let us know. We can't control what Facebook's doing basically, and they have been playing with their algorithm too much. they're all over the place with that. So what I mean by playing with the algorithm is they're playing around trying to make themselves more money, and sometimes it hurts the advertisers, and they quickly go backwards and adjust things, and it's back to normal. But it seems to happen a lot the last few months.
Arnold asks, are we able to boost to Instagram and other sites?
Well, the boost does run the ads on Instagram when you run a property boost. So it does display as a placement on both Facebook and Instagram because Facebook owns Instagram. Those are the only two channels though. So you're not going to end up on other channels with your listings. I know we've talked about maybe getting some Google display or YouTube going, but that hasn't been built yet. I do talk a fair bit about how to do that on your own in the next level sessions and in that members area. If anybody's curious about DIYing that stuff, doing it yourself.
I'm just scrolling through and seeing if we got all the questions.
Yeah, Thomas is saying he's an average of $1.88 a lead. Yeah, a lot of it depends on your market too, where you are in the country.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And how fast your listings are moving. And
yeah.
Arnold says boosting is cheap and awesome. Yeah, it really is the most affordable advertising that we have right now.
I want to plug we're going to reposition the marketing on this. I didn't get to do the marketing on this one, but I want to reposition. This one is quietly basically Property Boost on steroids for anybody who just wants a version of Property Boost that runs week after week without having to manually run. This Get Buyer Leads thing, it's very similar, and it'll actually run a carousel ad with multiple listings from your office. It's very interesting. So if you like Property Boost, what's happened a la carte, definitely give this one a look.
John asked, is there an unsubscribe option to put on emails and text messages? If so, how do we do that? So text messages, let's talk about that first. If you don't have one of those keywords like stop, unsubscribe, something like that in your very first message that goes out, text message that goes out to one of your leads, we put it in at the bottom of it, because if we don't do it, then we're not keeping you compliant with oh gosh, what are all the initials? TCPA, the phone stuff, right? So if we don't put that down there, you and us, nobody's TCPA compliant. So at the bottom of every first message to one of your customers, it's going to say something to the effect of reply, unsubscribe, and are you pulling up the help article? It says reply, unsubscribe to stop these messages, or if you no longer want to text with me, something like that. And then as far as, there it is. Yeah. That's the opt-in, that's different.
Trying to get to the stop words. Here they are.
There they are. Stop, unsubscribe, stop all, cancel, and then quit. So if your message has one of those stop words in it, we don't have to append it and put the wording in there. But if you don't, we put it in there to keep you compliant. As far as unsubscribe options on emails, I think that's a merge field that you can add.
I thought we did it automatically, but I could be wrong. I know on the property alerts we do, right?
Right. Most everything we try and keep the unsubscribe kind of down there, and so that you can click it, but not so that it stands out. Text, it kind of has to stand out because we've got to make sure that we do that.
Yeah, Evelyn's saying it's on every email. I thought it was.
I thought so too. I know it's on all the system ones.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to worry about making sure. Oh, there we go. The e-tips campaign. So if we send messages from our cell phones, do we also have to include the stop options? Evelyn, no, it's only on the very first message, text message that goes to one of your leads that has to have that. So, and if you don't put it on there, don't worry about it. We take care of it. The system automatically just throws that at the end of the message to keep you safe that way. But you don't have to send it on every text. I think that might be what you were asking. If I misunderstood that, let me know. I have seen when I send emails from KV Core that several are not being open. So if they're not being open, there's some stuff to keep in mind when you're tracking your opens. And that is that everybody that is an email provider right now is trying to make it so that as a consumer that you're no longer able to see, you're not sending that data back to companies. So Microsoft did it, Gmail is doing it, and iOS, whatever the latest iOS that they just
Apple did it
was.
first. Yeah.
So that we can't really give you accurate reporting on whether or not somebody opened your email or not. The best way to really see if people are getting in and really reacting to your messages is to put a call to action in there so that you can track their action. Because if you tell them to go check this out, you're going to be able to send them to something on their something on your page with a listing, and then we're going to be able to track their activity for you. But whether or not they open the email, we just really, nobody can give you accurate information to that anymore.
Yeah, they're actually over reporting. You know, some platforms are saying that everything's an open, some are saying that none are. And it's kind of a new, it's just kind of a new era. And kind of the thought out there in marketing world is to send better content and better messages. And people will reply to you, or they'll take the action, as Susan says, they'll click over to your website, which you can track either through KV Core as a listing view, or if you're using Google Analytics, you can see how many people are hitting that URL and things like that.
John just said, I just started doing that with a CTA. So yeah, that's really your best bet. Evelyn asked if you send a message from your personal cell phone. So nothing on your personal cell phone. If you're texting your leads from your personal cell phone, nothing interacting with KV Core is going to go through your personal cell phone number. It's only through the smart number that we can help you say TCPA compliant. So if your initial text to your client is out of your personal cell phone and not like a campaign text, you might want to just make sure you have yourself covered and put something in there like, hey, if you don't want to text with me, just let me know and reply back, stop.
Yeah. And you know, the best practice, it is a little bit of an extra step, but if you have the KV Core mobile app, it's pretty easy to just reply to text from there, you know, as things come in, and then you have a running list of the conversation and you can do a lot more from there too.
Definitely.
Good question from Tom. If the prospect replies to the text, does the system stop future campaign texts? That's I wouldn't assume that it does. Let's put it that way. And I would be looking at that contact and manually removing any campaigns. Susan,
if I reply stop, if that's what Tom is talking about. If I reply stop, then yes, it stops all of the text from any of your future campaigns, but it doesn't remove the campaign, because what if you have calls and emails in there?
Right.
So all it does is the system stops text from going out, because you can unsubscribe from text and then separately unsubscribe from emails. So
yeah, I was reading that a little off, but I think you got the answer right. I was kind of thinking, the behavioral automations, if you have these set a certain way, if they reply, it'll move from new lead to active. And then if you don't have the campaign set for active, maybe it would stop everything. That's kind of a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on which reply you're asking about. Is the unsubscribe stop included in texts we create or only in text templates from KV Core? It's anything you send from, it's the first text sent from your smart number in KV Core. So the first time anything is sent to your lead that is a text from KV Core from your smart number, then it goes out. If you've never communicated with them, they're not on a campaign, anything like that, and you send some mass text like Ryan did about the waterfronts, and it's the very first thing, it'll put that that stop language at the bottom so that the lead knows.
And I'll share my hack. I'm so proud of my hack. Unless you have the stop language in there, and I you know, 2 people have asked me what about fixing this typo. brokers I've worked with.
Oh.
But what this is doing, guys, this is killing the stop language. So in certain contexts, you actually don't, the stop language almost encourages the unsubscribe. So I'm putting the stop in there.
But what Ryan did there is technically keeping you TCPA compliant.
It's technically, I think the term would be gray hat. Is that gray?
It's a gray hat.
It's gray hat SEO or whatever.
Stay tuned for Ryan for more life hacks.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of which, so I will do that. We do have our sessions every day at 4 East from Monday to Thursday. It'll start in about 15 minutes on the calendar. I'll be on today. Members of the training team, we're all going to be rotating through those, but that's where we share tips like this. And then similar to what you've gotten here with us, Susan and I, the last 20 minutes or so have been doing Q&A. You have those sessions with trainers to do Q&A as well, if you want to. And that's a great point from Arnold. He's having his lender text inside of KV Core, so we're all on the same page. That's a really great point. And I've dealt personally with a few, brokers and their ISAs or their assistants who were kind of doing everything from their own cell phones. And the second they realize they should be using the system, like the world changed for them, because it just opens up a world of collaboration. You can all see what everybody's up to. So cool. I think we're pretty good. Susan, did we miss anything?
And the question seem to have kind of come to a steady end of the flow there.
Great. So guys, we'll continue to do these sessions every Wednesday at 3 p.m. East. If you were on this session, you're already registered for the series, which is kind of nice. Zoom will just send you a reminder. As always, if you miss a session, no big deal. The replay will be on the YouTube channel. We usually post it to the Facebook group as well. And I'll just say it again, we've got our new calendar there. Just check that out. Ronald's asking about Core Present. Core Present's live. I think your broker needs to have the subscription, right?
Definitely. Yep. And Ronald, it really depends. I would chat in to support, because it depends. There's about, I think, a handful of MLSs that we don't have sold data from. So if you're part of one of those MLSs, then the ETA and Core Present is pushed out, but it's a live product as long as we can get your sold data and as long as your broker has purchased it. So if your broker hasn't purchased it, you can still purchase -CMA though, as an individual agent.
Yeah, Tom's saying if a prospect asks a question, I don't answer, they will get the next campaign. Yeah, I would definitely, if you're in a conversation with some contact, definitely just go look at their contact record and make sure you have the right campaign set up. Abhinesh, that issue that you were mentioning, I'd probably go to support for that. I have not personally seen that happen, but you never know with the carriers, and we would have to kind of look at the unique situation, your friend's number and so on, and what was sent and everything. So.
And there's also some things you can do, and they can give you this information and support, but there's you can register your smart number so that it is less likely to show up as spam. Okay. And it also depends, is this your personal smart number, or is it a smart number that you share with 200 other agents? And it could be that they're also sending mass texts to people and things like that. So yeah, lots of factors there to make something show up as spam.
How do we register
the, what's that?
Do we have docs on that somewhere? Or
we do. If you go to the help desk, and gosh, let me see if I can find it and throw the link in there. How do we register the smart? Glenda wants to know. Let me see if I can find the link real quick.
I'll try to.
I'm trying to remember what the keyword that I always search for to find it is. Because there's a provider. Gosh, what is it?
Try some Google foo. Well, rather than make everybody wait, once Susan finds it, and we'll ask around internally, I'll definitely post that to the Facebook group. That resource, we'll post that today if Susan has a hard time finding it.
Yeah, I'll find it. I'll get it, and we'll, instead of making everybody wait.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. Tracy, I may be at EXPCon. Maybe. I don't know about, are you going, Susan?
I won't be at EXPCon, but we will have representation there, right?
Yeah, there'll be a lot of us there. I'm like 50-50 right now. I've got some personal stuff. I'm not sure that's going to work out, but I'm trying. Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. The Facebook page address is insiderealestate.com/Facebook group, but it's called the Inside Real Estate Discussion Group. that you can just search for on Facebook. All right, everybody have a great one. See ya.
Thanks. Bye.